Welcome to Three's a Tribe. I'm Adam, published author and poet and founder of the novel Encounter. This is a podcast where I invite two fellow creatives to chat about their craft, the personal, everything and anything. I start this conversation the way almost every great conversation begins, each of us breaking the ice with a question for the others. Who's first?
Let me start. My name is Benjamin Aryanto. I am the founder of Grim & Company. We are a boutique F&B branding and marketing agency in Singapore. So nice to meet you guys. So my question to the tribe is, if you could name your life after a movie title, what would it be?
I'll continue. Probably Gone in 60 Seconds.
What is your problem, Haron?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah. I'm serious, my work schedule. But anyway, Adam.
Oh.
My life is all about work. So,
okay, I'm going to go with Titanic.
Why?
Because,
Why?
Adam Ty.
How are you a poet?
I am a poet. I never said I was a good one, but I just am a poet. All right, Haron.
Work schedule.
Work schedule your head. I'm asking you to introduce yourself.
Introduction. Yes. Okay. So about that. Hi, I am Haron. I'm also known as guy who does pretty much everything in-house or out of the house or everywhere else.
That's a long nickname.
Yeah, that's a very long-ass nickname. Some people mistake me for the bird. Like, for example, Adam, who actually thought my name is spelled as the bird, Haron, which, actually it's not. But anyway, my introduction actually consists of a pretty long way to introduce. So I'm just going to shorten it for you. I do pretty much everything under the sun, be it tech, F&B, we're talking entertainment, anything else, everywhere in between. Well,
Swiss Army knife boy.
Kinda, maybe? Yeah.
And what's your goddamn question to the tribe?
Stop staring at me like that.
I don't like where this is going.
Now I'm scared. Okay, but anyway, my question to the tribe would be, if you had an opportunity to start all over again, we're talking about a completely new life, would you take that chance? Or would you not?
No. Absolutely not.
What about you, Ben?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with the choices I've made and happy with the people I've connected with. No change.
Yeah, I'm right there with Ben. That's a great question though. And so my turn to close this off. If you had to get a tattoo right now, what would it be?
Ooh, who's gonna start?
If you guys pick a picture of me or one of my poems, I will not be angry.
Do we get a discount on your poems?
No.
Okay. Then no.
Yeah, now we have the
I
answer.
don't see an incentive.
Yeah. I would actually probably get SpongeBob.
Where though? On the forearm.
Yeah, why do you give me that judgmental look when I say SpongeBob?
I didn't get. This is my normal look.
So for those who are listening, I'm just going to say this. Adam gave me a very menacing look and very concerned at the same time. I don't know how that works. But yeah. So SpongeBob on the forearms. Because let's say I'm actually going through a full body tattoo. So I wanted something a little bit more cheeky on the forearm. So where I roll up my sleeves so people don't actually, it breaks the stigma of people with tattoos
I like that.
are like kind of scary people. But no, it's just crayon for adults, like that kind of thing. So then from there onwards, well, above the arm and onwards, that's the actual serious stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And Ben?
Ooh, for me, I've been thinking about this for some time because initially I didn't want a tattoo. But for me, I will actually get a bear. That's my spirit animal. I totally fuck with that.
Oh yeah, by the way, Haron, Ben's nickname is Bear. Yeah.
Totally fuck with it. Like it's my spirit animal because there's two sides to the bear. There's that warm, friendly, cuddly side,
Meow.
and there's that fucking apex predator that you don't want to mess with. And I just fuck with that so bad. And for me, I would love to get one on my forearm of myself and the rest of the people that I really care about as the bears. And I will be like this standing bear then with like other family members as the other bears kind of like near me because I want to portray myself as like the protector because that's what I see myself for the people I really care about.
Cute.
And hopefully there's enough space on my arm because right now my arm is not that big, so I need to like.
So why not the whole arm?
I don't know if I should get steroids for this freaking like tattoo. My arm is too short.
Just do the whole arm. No way.
The tattoo artist might just end up drawing on my chest as well. I didn't ask for this.
Okay. Shall we have a toast?
Oh yes.
Does anyone have a good toast?
I know.
I think you should just keep it simple. I think There's one that just came to my mind. It's on the fly. Good wealth, good health, and great sex.
I'm not sure about the sex part of my end, but yes, thank you.
God in 60 seconds. Let's go! Oh, it's a nice drink you got us. What'd you get us?
I got you guys soju. So, Haron, I'm pretty sure you know this, but Ben and I actually were the ones who started up Grayman Company. But I actually left during COVID time, and Ben actually held the fort, did a fucking amazing job with it, and he managed to get like a whole bunch of clients, and Chuga is one of them. So I personally am not a great drinker, but this shit is outstanding.
Hey, this comes a lot from like, this means a lot. Sorry, not comes a lot.
Oh God, I'm done. Oh God,
Slip of tongue.
Damn, your fiance is a lucky woman.
This means a lot because this guy drinks iced lattes
Absolutely.
and ice.
yes,
Absolutely.
Extra ice, less latte.
Yes.
Correct.
What kind of order is that?
with a separate glass of ice.
Correct.
Yes.
No
and,
shame.
And he doesn't drink alcohol, and he actually appreciates this lychee flavor, which is
I really do. It's a great drink.
I really enjoyed.
Shout out to
Chuga.
Chuga for making great lychee and other flavors as well.
And also shout out to your shirt. Nice shirt, Ben.
Yes, I just realized. No, actually, I didn't just realize.
Yeah,
Wearing the same shirt. Why?
Okay, so the whole thing was, okay, Haron, I don't know if you know this, but like a couple of weeks back, do you know there's this thing on TikTok where where girls like prank their boyfriends to all show up at like a cafe or a restaurant or something wearing the same shirt? So our girlfriends like did the same thing. They bought us all shirts from Uniqlo. We went to this nice dinner, and then like the 5 of us guys were all wearing the same shirt. And today was unintentional at all. So I guess Ben, you and I still have that sync.
That's true. But let's admit, I look 25% more handsome than you in this shirt.
Actually, so I thought this episode came at a really good time because the two of you actually have pretty cool things going on. Ben, you actually have gotten Grim into a new office, and Haron, it was recently your birthday.
Was past tense.
Was. How long ago was that?
2 weeks ago.
How did that feel?
Old.
Okay.
Did
Okay.
you do
How
anything
did?
special?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I actually did. How do I put this? You know, when you reach this age. Okay, I just turned 30. Okay, fine.
Don't make it sound like you're so old, Haron. I'm 31.
So am I. And hey, just celebrate your 30th and shut
Okay.
the fuck up.
So everyone want to go out on a big bang. Oh yeah, let's go party. You know, do all these things.
Sure.
Stuff. Mine was celebrating at work, and I was just sitting down in the afternoon. Please do not drown me in alcohol again. And I actually say this to every single person that I actually was working with, and I said, don't drown me in alcohol. And then by the time I got home, I finished 2 bottles of tequila.
Oh, God.
I was bored. I was bored out of my mind. It's like, yeah, let's do tequila shots. 1, 5, yes. And I passed out that day. So yeah, if you consider that as special, I survived 2 bottles of tequila on my own. Yeah, I think that's an achievement.
Are you a big birthday guy?
Yes and no. Actually, interesting question. I used to be terrified of birthdays, if anything at all.
Why?
Let's just say along the way, life happens. So there's some things in the past that I would say things in my family happen, which trailed forward to like this fear, the phobia of having like just birthdays, but not the very serious kind. It's just like okay. So I'm going to give an example.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's not that bad, not that good. So this is something that happened in 2012 when I was back in the military. So I was still serving, and it was this one night I was at a bar in Boat Quay. So TLDR. Okay, the long story short version is, imagine having to get crammed into someone else's birthday who happened to share the same day as yours, all right? And next thing you know, you realize that the awkward moment where despite your resistance, your friends just shove you into it and they tell you that it's okay, just share the birthday. And the cake only has that one person's name on it. I shit you not, that was
that's
bad.
the worst.
Yeah, so ever since that, I told myself, yeah, you know what, I'm not. Yeah, oh, same birthday, good. All the more I should stay the fuck away from this whole thing. Okay, bye. I'm busy that day. Actually, no, I'm just at home, and just cleaning my room or something. I don't know.
Yeah, man, everyone deserves their own cake. Everyone deserves their own cake.
That's such a nice quote.
Is it?
Yeah, isn't
I'm
this
gonna
cool?
borrow
There's
that.
some metaphorical meaning to that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should start my own poetry service.
Oh
as well.
god, okay.
Everyone needs their own cake. Poetry.
That should have been your toast, by the way.
That'll be
Let's
50
all
bucks.
have cake. Hey. So do you know what was my toast gonna be? Okay, let's do one more toast because I want this to be mine.
Okay.
To the nights we'll never remember, with the people we'll never forget. Do you remember this? Do you remember this?
Yes.
Yes, I don't remember this, but now it just sounds like some 18-year-old American girl in Las Vegas getting pissed drunk after 2 bottles of tequila, going, "Hey guys, let's cheers."
Oh my god, hashtag something.
So for the people who are listening, the reason why Ben, Haron, and I met was because Ben and I had this client called One. It was like a nightclub in Suntec City. Oh, Haron's dying right now. And Haron was a DJ it feels so weird to say that. DJ slash engineer for the place, where he pretty much ran, like he just made sure everything was running smoothly while manning the music and everything.
Yeah, that's
Music
accurate.
club. Just to get the classification right. Not a nightclub, but a music club.
What's the difference?
You don't want to go there, son.
Okay. Oh,
He's not wrong.
I'm older than you.
Ben's not wrong.
Oh, shit.
Do you feel like Grim actually? Okay, because now they get a new office and everything.
Yes.
It feels like I wouldn't say rebirth, but it's like a change from everything. Back in the day, you and I, we will be with our other business partners in like a cafe brainstorming ideas. And now here you are with your own office. Like, how does it feel like from the time that you started with One until now with AKA Sugar and such?
Well, to be honest, I'm just proud of myself for what I've accomplished, but more importantly, with the people around me, as well. It's still very hard to grasp. It really takes time to just slow down, breathe, and just look back and just achieve, and just look back and just appreciate what you and your collective has done. It definitely is a great feeling.
Yeah.
But this is not the end. There is more to come.
Anything exciting coming up? Because I know you just came from a couple of meetings.
Yes. The great thing for us is that, in terms of a few years back, because, we've been more active in the last 4 years. But for us, we've just accelerated in terms of building our portfolio. We're working with a lot of like SME level kind of businesses. And then when at the start, it was very hard for the big brands to take us seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just very, very gratifying to see them personally knock on our doors. I think that means a lot already, going for pitches. But the more amazing thing is when they give you that validation where they go, holy shit, your idea is great and it's very different. That's an amazing feeling. Amazing feeling.
Yeah. So Haron, Ben came up with our tagline: "Enemies of boring."
I believe that was you.
Damn.
No, that was you.
I believe that was you.
I think it was you.
I just did the cake one. Everyone deserves a cake. That's just me. I'm not gonna steal your lightning, my friend.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm just finishing the soju quietly while they're talking.
Actually, on the way here, Haron and I were talking about something where we were chatting about how, which I found quite interesting, about how COVID actually turned out to be kind of a blessing in disguise for him, which actually was the same thing for you. Because one of the reasons why I quit, why I stepped away from Grim, Haron, is actually I needed to save my own other business as well, because COVID hit everyone. Like everyone was struggling. So I remember me and the 2 other business partners told Ben, we're like, you know what, man? I think we need to step away and we need to fix things. And Ben was like, then I'll do it myself. And yeah, like some Thanos shit.
I wore a Liam Neeson mask and said it.
I don't know who you are. And I forgot the rest.
What was that?
That was a shit.
I don't know. I don't know who you are. Okay, done.
I forgot the lines. I'm sorry.
The waiter just next. Who are you talking to? Man?
What's wrong with you?
The inner monologue just became external. What?
Hey, we're closed. Oh, sorry.
Okay, no, wait. But my whole point was that how Haron was talking about how actually COVID was like a blessing in disguise, and I was wondering if you could like elaborate more on that.
For me, it was, how do I put this? Okay, to put it specifically, it changed everyone's perspective about everything that we do. Like the whole, you work from Monday to Friday. Let's start with that, for example. Monday to Friday is 9 to 5. Standard office hours, right?
Yeah.
Now you have more people fighting for work from home. People realize that you don't have to go through the whole trouble of trying to fight for transport, and just to be at the office early or something like that. And people start to realize the value of time. I think that's the most important concept that most people throw at the back of their heads and just don't really bother much with it. That includes my dad and most of my relatives, in fact, and most of my friends and everyone. Let's start on that. Okay, so, and it's at that moment when you realize that there's so much more than just the things that we do. It feels endless, like, the job and everything.
9 to 5, go home,
Yeah.
sleep, wake up.
It's
9
a
to
cycle,
5.
right?
Yeah.
And people realize that there's more value to life. So, of course, then that goes over to personality. People change. People change over time when they realize that they have come to terms with themselves, be it the good, the bad, the ugly. And take, for example, this may go a little bit dark, but this is actually something that happened last month, actually. So I had a friend. He actually just filed for his divorce. Maybe I've introduced him to my friends who are actually in the law side, and they were like, trying to sort out the whole divorce. So during the whole process, I know both ends. So husband and wife, soon to be ex-husband and ex-wife. So I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway, at that point, they realized that they couldn't stand each other, actually. It was just the whole absence from each other throughout the whole time of them working pre-COVID that they never realized. And it was COVID that actually changed everything for them. They realized that they had very different goals, needs, wants.
Wait, sorry, quick thing. Ben, you can just crack it open. It's fine.
Oh.
You didn't need to keep it silent while Haron was talking. You could just crack it.
You're not a compensator. It's okay. Like,
I thought it was just courtesy.
Feel free to crack it open. It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, it's my first time.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Fuck out, guys.
Yeah, guys, calm down. Okay, Haron, sorry.
Anyway, so I guess COVID really changed everything. And at that point, perspectives change, and the people that you grew up with, especially those that you hold close, you realize that at one point, I never actually realized any of this before. Be it good, bad, ugly again. So coming back to this current moment, it's insane. You're witnessing a completely different world that most people actually ignore. Or they maybe be it by choice, or maybe be it by, they just really didn't realize it at some way they're already different from the way they act to the way they talk. Ben, it's okay. You can really open the soju. Shout out to Chuga.
Shout out to Chuga.
Hey, I'm just trying to be courteous here, guys.
It's fine.
This ain't a Zack Snyder movie. You don't have to do it in slow-mo. You can just unquote. It's all good. It's all good, brother.
Silent,
it's all good. It's all good.
Silent, guess not.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so I guess my point is that what I'm trying to say is that people have changed ever since the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
The change that was so important that everybody forgot about, that nobody actually realized that they needed that happened.
It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, not just a breath of fresh air, but maybe even just life-changing. I know some actually decided to go to become a monk, for example. So they are actually in Thailand right now. It's quite insane, but this is what they want. They want inner peace. They want something. I have friends who are bankers. They just quit their job. You know what they're doing right now? Selling food near my place. And I was just like, wow, cool. Why? Hate the job. Never realized it before. Okay, so, but what I'm trying to say is that I think the biggest change that I faced was having the courage to actually leave an industry that puts you into this perpetual loop of waking up, going to work at 5 p.m., you do your DJ things like whatnot, till like 2 a.m. and then just go back. Yeah, shout out to Juan.
Shout out to Juan.
Yeah, I don't miss trying to clean up the puke after at 3 a.m. Okay.
Why was that you? What?
Because they puke inside the console. Yeah, thank you everyone. And that's it. It's like, the things that both of you haven't seen.
Marketing team.
Yeah, marketing perks, right? Yeah, go home early. Yeah. But anyway, so I guess the biggest change that happened for me was realizing that the thousands of friends that I had, how many of them were truly there for me in the first place? I think that was the biggest question that I had. And I realized that I didn't have real friends, except for you guys, of course, and several other people out there. And never mind my dad, he's still butt naked drunk at probably, I don't know what time it is right now. He's probably drunk at home. But anyway,
that's hot.
Yeah. Not hot for a 64-year-old over there right now.
Right, well, guys, we're on the way right now.
Yeah. But the thing is, at that point, I realized that I too have changed. My perspective of people have changed. I'm no longer angry, and I realized that I never was an angry person. I think most people would have known me for being a hothead, but actually I realized that I was never an angry person. It was just the circumstances that I forced myself to be in for the sake of exchanging for an X amount of salary that turned me into this very angry person all the time. That ruined my relationship. I'm going to be honest, that nearly ruined my relationship between me and my current fiancé, and it was a mess. So during the whole COVID period, it was mostly just the recovery part of not just health, physical wise, but also realizing that there are some things in you that you probably never knew you had or you have forgotten about before. And that was the biggest change.
Because I remember for the longest time, you kept telling me that you wanted to quit being a DJ. You want to quit being DJ, quit being a DJ. And then I remember that I'll see IG stories, I'll be like, whoops, I wonder what Haron's going through right now. And it honestly was quite hard to witness as a friend, right? Because as a fellow creative, I think that if every single week or month I was feeling like I was being rejected for being a writer, or was unable to actually be accepted for what I want to do, sorry, I can't even say what Haron just did.
Why?
Okay. Yeah, so it's
being courteous.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm being courteous right here. Unless you're going to have ASMR.
Okay. So the whole thing was that I was quite worried about you. And recently you kind of told me that through COVID, you managed to find a new dimension to DJing or music or the things that you love.
Oh, yeah. So about that, and to put it very simply, I would say it's a different reality if it makes any sense, but I would say it's a very different world out there, and it's a very big one at that. I didn't realize that this was actually something that's been going on for a while.
What's that?
Virtual reality, and it was something that, like with Meta and, excusez-moi, I actually burped, but anyway, you're not gonna hear it. $4.99 OnlyFans, but anyway, so at that point I realized it was a very interesting moment to actually sit there and just be in awe of how much people have accomplished in the background and why they stay in the background. It's not because they are not famous or they don't have enough marketing reach. It's because they just want to be in a place where they can truly be themselves. And I think virtual reality came into a point where it helped a lot of people understand that point and discover themselves along the way. And it was just insane, be it through the metaverse. And
that's cool because Ben's really into Web3.
Yeah. Web3. We can talk about that after the show.
All day. I'll set up a separate podcast.
That's hard.
But yeah, so I found myself, at first I told myself, Adam probably knows about this. Like you probably know about the whole thing about me trying to quit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that I choose not to say. And I just leave it on a PR standard kind of answer. I just leave it as it is. Not because I want to lie to people, but it's not the entire truth. And especially when COVID happened and it changed my perspective about most, if not all of the people that I thought I knew, if I were to put it that way. It's a strong statement. I would say that I didn't want to quit. I wanted a break. I wanted a breakthrough at that, and virtual reality became this very different dimension that helped me get that breakthrough.
But is that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It was insane. Like, it's mind blowing to think about the possibility of actually doing something at the comfort of your home. In your home, specifically in your underwear at home.
I don't need to know that.
Yeah, it's TMI. I'm sorry. There's too much information. But anyway, so
Ben just spat out his beer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to clean that out anyway.
No, but the whole thing is. Oh, sorry. But the whole thing is that with like DJing in the metaverse in the metaverse. Yeah, in the virtual reality and in real life, is there a difference in the experience because you've done both?
Yes, there definitely would be a difference. I dare say that the enjoyment is on a different level. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say if with the recent event that I did, I'm not going to mention names for now.
Sure.
That I have detached myself from the local DJ scene, the nightlife scene, not because I hate it, but because it's just I realized that by the time I actually did several shows for all these different countries. We're talking about Germany, Berlin specifically, and then there's some in Miami, Atlanta,
cool,
and several other places, Taiwan, Japan. I realized that there was a very serious problem in our backyard, but let's not get into that. But my point is that it's a very different dimension. And at that, okay, for the whole virtual reality part, is that imagine this, you can have the entire experience of a full light and laser show as though you would pay for $300 to $400+ for a ticket and everything. But this one is free entry. And let's put it this way. It's all volunteer basis. And you get to experience that. And let's say if you get really wasted, what happens at a festival usually?
As you do.
Yeah. What happens? Let me ask you both a question.
I just shit myself.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
No,
What the festivals you go to?
You need diarrhea medication,
Singapore
my
Writers
guy.
Festival, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be there on the 19th of November. See me there.
Yes, I will go see you there.
Watch his words flow like his diarrhea. Let's go.
Okay. No, but for real, I'm actually doing Singapore Writers Festival. Not the diarrhea part. But what would you do, Ben?
The shitty encounter. Shit. Sorry, we're not very mature, I guess.
You
I'm
think?
sorry.
Well,
Sorry, listeners.
young at heart. That's
Yes,
different.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
What, the festival part? Or like
Yeah, the
what's-
best.
Yeah, no, actually,
no,
like-
diarrhea part definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No, like, because you're very much in the metaverse as well, right? Like when, like, if you are like too tipsy or something after like the festival's over, Haron's asking what would you do, or like whether you actually enjoy something like that.
I wouldn't say I'm very much into metaverse. I mean, I am fully aware of what's happening. I still haven't fully experienced it myself because I still don't. I still can't find that one space that I can relate to, or the one that I really feel like it's good to invest my time and money into it.
Ambivalence.
Yes, but I mean, there's so much happening in the background that we don't even know. Like this, everything's just happening so fast. So yeah, for me, I will still take my time to go and research and see which metaverse to spend my time in. But I do believe, yes, there is the future, but I'm not as in it as Haron over here. But what I'll do, I'll probably just pass out. I'll just pass out on my chair.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pass out on my
so-
chair and probably have somebody like, attacking me when I'm like just passed out.
Yeah, yeah.
Idle.
Yeah, so your whole point is just that it is easier for these kind of experiences to just be fully into it and then just log out, right?
No, not just that. I'll make it even simpler for you. You just take off your headset, you sit down, and you just go to bed.
Versus being blackout drunk in 7-Eleven in front of Clark Quay, having like police officers drag your ass over like, hey, show me your IC, where you going? Where's your house? Or like people just like judging at you. No.
Yeah.
Speaking from personal experience.
Sounds like it.
Nope.
Sounds like it.
Nope. Not me.
Not judging, but yeah, that actually does happen all the time. So imagine my shock and awe when I realized that at that moment, there's so much difference. It's a completely different experience altogether. So at that point, I realized, okay, cool. And I thought maybe a standard club set in Singapore would actually work out. Yeah, sure, it worked out to some extent. And then I realized I was limiting myself the whole time. And it's at some point in life where you realize that if all you have done is to ever limit yourself, then when is it going to ever stop?
Yeah, for sure. That's
So-
what I feel.
Yeah, exactly. So usually just a little bit of a tidbit information. Most DJs in anywhere in the world would usually go anywhere between 30 to 50 songs per hour, 60 minutes in a single club set. Some aggressive ones like my boys. Shout out to Wonton Street Squad. Yeah, Wesley, you really need to go and get hair tonic. Like, I'm serious. Anyway, so
Wonton Street Squad. Let's
yeah,
go.
so the boys actually know about this, and they go a little bit aggressive because our playing styles would be a little bit more aggressive. We try to keep the floor as much as possible. Our job is to entertain the crowd, right? So we're talking about double that amount to approximately 60 to 90 songs at that. Now, in this one benchmark set that I did for myself, just to see what happens if I actually took off the limits. Like, because this is the first time I actually worked with a team that told me, you can do whatever you want. We just want you here. I'm like, okay, cool. I accidentally played 193 songs in 1 hour. And
Is that even possible?
How's it possible?
yes,
How's that
it's actually
possible?
possible. So that is through a different topic of mashouts, but we'll not get into that. But for now, and that was the moment I realized that people are still there regardless. They're still there. They're still with their own companies, their own groups and whatnot. And everyone is just having a good time. Of course, bring your own alcohol and everything still applies. But what I'm trying to say here is it was a completely different experience. It was wild. You have people, all walks of life from all over the planet, be it in Brazil, be it in the US, in Asia, in everywhere else, even Australia, even people in freaking Iceland, Antarctica side. I don't even know how they get internet connection. I'm very sorry. I really don't know about this one. But you have all walks of life. You get to meet all kinds of different people. You learn from the experiences. And that's where I realized that this was the one thing I severely lack in most of the relationships that I have, in the kind of social circles that I have with,
Right.
like, not saying both of you, don't kill me. Why both of you looking at me like you're going to choke
Because
me?
you're talking.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. But anyway.
Courtesy.
It's courtesy.
Oh, it's courtesy. It's courtesy. But anyway, so I think the metaverse actually changed most parts of me, and I was okay to actually let go of most of what I've done so far. And you have the whole of course, I'm not trying to call out an entire industry or anything, but what I'm trying to say is that, when you grow up around people who kept saying, support me, but nobody does the supporting, then it's kind of sad, isn't it? And it's just this endless chase of this pipe dream that never really happened or would work for anyone, sorry. And on top of that, to make matters even darker, is where you realize that people are actively pulling each other down in the background. And that's the kind of place that I grew up in, being a DJ. So, I wouldn't say, to answer your question, I wouldn't say that's the semi-long answer to I didn't quit DJing. Right? I did something different with the whole DJing aspect.
Right. And Ben, how about you?
You.
With everything that happened during COVID, because I know that during COVID, things changed drastically for what you guys were doing with your professional careers. And with Haron, I think he found passion on a new dimension, if I want to be poetic about it.
Ooh.
And what about you, Big Dirk?
Okay. Well, for me, the pandemic I saw it as an equalizer.
Oh.
I saw it as an equalizer. This is going to maybe slightly controversial what I'm going to say or how I describe it, but it is an equalizer.
Do it.
Shout on the mountaintop.
So I see it as an equalizer because I was coming from the small dog in the fight. I was up against well-established agencies. I came out with this brilliant idea to quit my daytime job and just focus on this agency right at the peak of circuit breaker.
Damn.
And guess what? My agency focuses on what? F&B industry. And at that point in time, I thought, Ben, you're a dumb motherfucker. No, it's serious, man. Because it was very, very tough because the F&B scene it wasn't easy. A lot of places closed down. Everyone's just worried about overheads. People are just worrying about, hey, when am I going to keep my guys, keep my guys around?
Yeah.
How am I
The
gonna
last
pay
thing
them?
you're thinking about is marketing, right?
It's about marketing, right? And I thought, man, this is the dumbest decision I ever did and I've ever done in my life.
Wait, before you go on, do you know why you made the decision? Because I remember quite well.
I'm sorry. My memory is so bad. Just a bit of context. Adam is like my black box or like my USB drive or Dropbox.
Basically a backup drive, like a time machine, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
he
so I'm
helps
a time
me.
machine.
My memory is shit, but he helps me and our group of friends actually remember what happens on a night out.
Sure.
So
yes.
I actually forgot. Please enlighten me.
Okay, so Haron, basically what happened was it was a few weeks leading up to Ben leaving and we were all deciding what the fuck to do with our careers. And so for me, because Nova Encounter is a lot of live events, I think that I always remember that it was late January, February that the government announced all this because I had 10 events cancelled in 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And I was very much about to, handshake deal, let me not take a down payment. So I was freaking out. Our other buddy was freaking out because he's in FMCG. Another buddy was freaking out because he was doing physical teaching in classes, right? So everyone's wondering about what to do for themselves. I mean, similar to you because you do live DJing. Right?
Yeah.
So everyone was worried, and then Ben was thinking, okay, what are you guys gonna do? Because Ben has always been the guy in the group, gathers everyone, we go have drinks, and so all of us said, I think we might focus on our other gigs. And Ben said, let me stew about it for a couple of days. And I remember there was this thing going viral at the time. I forgot what it was. I think it was like the roti prata thing.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so-
roti prata.
Yeah, so it was some Angmo woman who did like.
No, I got it.
Yeah. Tell me.
Let me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me take the
Okay, yeah, there you
spotlight,
go.
son.
You deserve what?
Ben,
son?
take the mic.
Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I apologize.
Okay, you got the floor.
Okay, so basically it was this cooking channel called Nyonya Cooking. No hate against them. Those guys, I mean, they had good intentions, but it wasn't executed to what they had in mind. So basically they're a great place for recipes, for creating like Southeast Asian recipes online, right? And then they decided to create a recipe called the Asian flat croissant. Which
The croissant?
Croissant.
Which in other words just meant roti prata. So obviously this caused a bit of a ruckus amongst like the South Asian.
You heard that, Haron? It was a ruckus.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
So it was like people were just angry, and I felt that also during that period of time of COVID and everything, people were just angry anyway. They just needed an outlet.
Oh, it was pre-COVID actually.
Was it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
around
mean
there.
it was semi-COVID-ish.
Yeah, it was semi-COVID.
It was
semi-COVID-ish. I remember that. So yeah, people were just like going nuts at these guys. Like, why are you whitewashing my culture?
Yeah.
So we just responded to something funny, and I was just like, "Hey, man, there's no need for hate. Like, everyone's going through a shitty time right now. There's no need for hate in like this very uncertain time." So we just came up with something funny. Like we just redid a satire. We did a satire of the post, and called Cai Peng, Cai Fan, the Singapore protein bowl, and we
I love it.
yeah,
That was brilliant.
There was ingredients and everything, and it was like a description saying like, hey, it's probably like the only time where you ever get called handsome
Wow.
by the Cai Fan auntie.
I relate to that. Unfortunately.
And you buy the fish after you upsize that motherfucker.
Yeah. I know,
Look,
right?
yeah.
Give me the fish. Give me everything.
Yeah, when you order fish first, that's when she knows you're a rich boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Auntie, I would like to have the tofu, the cai sim. Hey, 帅哥，你不要吃肉。好，我吃肉。加个鱼那边。Let's add that fish.
So I remember that was when Ben, and it blew up. Like, I don't know how many likes and shares it got, but it freaking blew up. And so many people related to it. And then I was having a drink with Ben, and Ben goes, "It's a sign. I'm going to do Grim full time."
I have the stats. Don't ask me. I'm not stalking Grim, by the way, even though I like very much the whole concept behind it, and I support it fully. But
job, Ben.
it was quite insane that you can hear this being featured in news outlets in pretty much most parts of US, UK, Europe. No, it was quite insane. Everyone was, okay, and of course, the lifestyle,
Was it
the
Europe?
lifestyle level. Yeah, I opened up and the first thing I saw was flatbread croissant. And I'm like, yeah, that's what my friend did. Oh no. Wait, I don't understand this language. Why is this like, I realized it's German 15 minutes after trying to read
No,
the
it was that
article.
fake Cai Peng thing, and then it was showed
The
up on
prata.
like multiple outlets, and
Yeah.
that was when Ben decided to actually take this full time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That was a much added boost, a much needed boost actually.
yeah,
Cool thing is that this is my spotlight to humble brag.
do it,
Do it.
Right, I'm gonna take the mic.
Take it.
Wait. I'm gonna touch it.
touch it.
Okay.
You like that?
Okay, yeah, I like it. Let's go. All right. So basically, I would dare to say that my agency, Grim and Company, we dare to say that we are probably the only few, or dare I say, the only agency that went viral positively for the right reasons. We didn't do anything that was like cancel culture that just got us bad flag, but
Nothing
we actually
detrimental. Yeah.
we just responded to things that were just making people angry with a bit of satire, a bit of wit, a bit of humor.
Do you want me to mention the Uno?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
So yeah, we just saw that there was no need for hate. Like, people just need a laugh. It's a
Yeah.
very shitty time during that period. in COVID.
Absolutely.
So that was I think 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Chinese New Year. So a bunch of I don't know if you guys remember, but a bunch of American Karens, these three ladies, decided to create something called American Mahjong.
Oh.
No hate to that. Hey, like,
No hate, but goddamn.
all right, man. Honestly, I swear their design was nice. It was nice.
It was pretty
Yeah, it was
decent.
pretty
It was
good.
nice, but the messaging came out wrong because it was like, hey guys, Chinese Mahjong is cool, but let's just refresh and make it more fun.
Ben's Angmo accent is just hilarious.
Yeah, make it more fun, right? And then people just took it really badly. People just thought like, why are you whitewashing my culture? Why are you making this?
They're just
like-
all finding all kinds of reasons.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, cancel culture,
Angry, everyone's just
cancel
angry.
culture, and the internet. That's for another podcast.
Yes, it
right?
is.
But then so we just thought like, hey man, I feel kind of insulted by what you did, and you're trying to recreate this mahjong set, and it was quite nice, I have to say. But they were
Design-wise.
saying like, hey, Chinese culture's boring. Then like, I'm gonna refresh it. I'm gonna charge you. I think it was like what, $400 USD, $500 USD for that.
I'm not sure.
I'm not buying that.
People just went nuts. So we created something called Chinese Uno.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, it was just a brainstorm session where we just saw this and explode on the news, and then I just went, okay, let's just do something funny. Like, everyone's like, oh, I hate you. You should cancel.
Oh, yeah, the
Go
keyboard
kill yourself.
warriors.
Da, 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 da. That is terrible. But instead,
keyboard warrior.
respond with good humor and a bit of wit. To show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so we just created Chinese Uno. We're like, okay, what's a very white American game? Let's just like Chinese wash it, right? Just call it like Chinese Uno. And obviously me with, they call me a banana because kimchi or kantao, that's potato. They say my Chinese is terrible, right? So I just thought, ni meo. So, I mean, I laughed to myself.
Oh my God. Hey, but it's not stupid if it works, okay?
It
was very stupid and it
worked so well. Like,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it was all over the Singapore newspapers, and Ben was telling us that a bunch of game stores were saying, the moment you create this, I will buy I'll buy into it, which is amazing.
It was a cool idea because what we just created was just a bunch of like visuals that just say, hey, like instead of like the swap cards or the reverse cards, we were just saying, like, hey, let's bring this to like Chinese culture where the things that we really hated during Chinese New Year is like, answering shitty questions by your relatives, right? So we had like a reverse snapback kind of card and, throw the ang paos and twerk.
So it's basically Cards Against Humanity, but Chinese.
Yes.
Or Asia. Oh, wow.
Yes. But Uno as well, with Uno.
Uno.
Right?
So it would have been amazing.
It was nuts because I just had this idea to just put it out there just for fun, right? But then people just spam the comments like, let's Kickstarter this, let's go. And I have one of the biggest media platforms in Singapore reach out to me for an interview on the same night that it exploded in virality, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, called me at 5 o'clock, like, hey, amazing stuff what you guys do. Okay, I'd like to feature you guys later at a 9 p.m. show. Can you please just prepare yourself, groom a bit, and then, go on like camera, and then we'll ask you some questions. I was like, okay, and then hang up. I was like,
Wow.
Oh, wow. I was like, oh,
That was quick.
feeling good about myself. Like, okay.
Bad boy.
Nice.
Wow.
And then afterwards, they called me about 8:30. Like, hey, okay, you ready for the show? Oh, I forgot to ask you in the previous call. Where do you sell this? Yo, I was like, yo, it's
It's in the works.
I was like, I actually had to make a decision at that point in time
Oh.
where my marketing agency company was slowly picking up. And,
Yeah, you were.
And then this knocked on my door, and I was like, shit, should I do a card game thing? But then I was just like, nope, I'm just going to focus on my craft. I'm going to build this company up, show the people in Singapore and hopefully regionally that, we have creative ideas. We want to help like F&B brands. So I don't want to get distracted. I want to build my craft. And then I just told them, I rejected an interview with one of the biggest media platforms. I was like, sorry guys, you should have asked me this earlier. It's not being sold. They're like, what?
Wow.
It's going up in like 30 minutes. Like, how you're not selling like online? Like, nope. Sorry, it's not.
Now, what if you actually told them it was a concept in the works that we have no it's just TBA at
I
that
just
point?
felt bad lying on national TV.
I get
No,
it.
I wouldn't
yeah.
call it lying. It's still technically the truth. It's a concept after all. If you think about it.
Where's it being sold? It's a concept.
In the works. That's different.
So online,
So-
it's a concept. And
Yes.
So the interview didn't go through.
No, it
then.
didn't go through, but we got picked up at the radio stations.
Yeah.
We got picked up at like Mothership, and people were just raging in like raging in a good way, going to comments saying like, "Hey, let's Kickstarter this." But then I had to make a choice. I was like, should I follow the crowd, or should I just really work on my craft and build my reputation and my company's reputation as a great creative folks for the F&B side? So I chose to focus on my company.
Yeah, so speaking of that, because I remember that we kind of segued off on it, but my whole point was that COVID actually was in a way a blessing in disguise for you, where it really helped Grim pick up. So I'm actually wondering how you felt about the whole process, because compared to Haron, where he went into a digital space, you focus on the physical space. And yeah.
Well, I think it feels amazing till this day. I mean, when you take a step back and you look at the entire picture, it feels amazing. But when you're, for all those creatives out there who is stuck in the grind, just looking at the day to day and go like, oh man, this is so tough. Hang in there, but also take a time off for yourself and take a step back and look at what you have accomplished and the great things you have done and created. And, that keeps you going. When I take a step back and I look, like, I think, it's not easy, by the way. You get caught up in a day-to-day thing. You don't actually take time for yourself and appreciate what you've done.
Yeah, man.
But since you asked me that question, when I look, what has happened in the last few years, it's an amazing feeling. how COVID started, it was an equalizer because, all these big companies or big, or like medium-sized F&B venues, they look for more reputable brands. And this equalizer came in and where they just went, for people or those businesses that were kind of just barely meeting ends meet, during a very successful time.
Yeah.
This equalizer came in and, they were like, oh crap, we need to like really improve our stuff, or like we need to rethink and reshape. And that was what COVID did for me. However, it wasn't like that in the first few months.
Yeah.
It was tough in the first few months. Nobody, like all my proposals got cancelled. Nobody wanted to talk to me because it made sense. Everyone was just, I need to keep my head count. Most F&B businesses don't even know what to do. Everyone was just scratching their heads. The biggest question is, how do I survive? How do I keep paying these folks?
Yeah.
There was no room in the conversation for me to come in. But what I just did was I just kept my options open. And, whenever there was opportunity, I just took it. And I would say that one thing that really, really helped me was I just said, you know what? This is my chance. The equalizer came in. I am just going to do the best of my ability and stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah.
And it just started from something very, very small. One graphic poster design became one menu. One menu became help me take over my social media. After that became, hey, I got a new concept. Can you help me rebrand this? So it's just really building. And for us as Grimm and Company, we just wanted to create really dope shit and just be very different from, so many agencies out there.
I find that really interesting because I think the three of us are at kind of an interesting spot in our lives where I keep mentioning this, but Haron found a passion, a new dimension, and you seem to be on that same path. And for me is that I'm known for being the live typewriter guy where I just go to events and I do like typewritten poetry, right? But I'm trying to do more things like workshops, like brand collaborations, like anything really, installations, murals. And so it kind of makes me think that I was meant to do more than just live typewritten things. I want to actually expand more and do more of my craft. So with you guys, what do you think your end goal is for what you currently do creatively?
Who's first?
Ben could be first.
Benito.
Very, very good question.
I know. Sorry. I love you, man.
Okay. All right. Where do I see Grimm going? Well, for Grimm, what I do see is I would like our company to be the go-to agency in Singapore for whenever it comes to F&B. You want to create dope shit, you want to be different, you want to have a very good story, you come to us. And you want to have, amazing visuals. We want to be that household name. But I don't feel that is where I'll end up being for the rest of my life. Let me clarify on that. What I do feel is I want to build an engine.
You mean in Grimm or outside of Grimm?
Outside Grimm. And Grimm will just be a cog where everything will complement each other well, just create a little ecosystem where I would like to be able to go beyond F&B. But however, I would always, as I build more cogs of service related companies, I would like to create an agency or a bigger ecosystem where, I'm able to create dope stuff for the future. And for me, where I do believe the future lies is in Web3. And for me,
Haron just nodded and salivated a little bit.
So I'm kind of building towards that, and I want to build multiple companies within the F&B space where everything kind of integrates and helps each other out in its own ecosystem. I also branch out into the Web3 side because right now it's still very new. People are still not very fully aware of it, but when it hits, everyone will be like, shit, I should have known.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 20 years ago when some of the top execs back then 20 years ago was talking about the www is not going to work out. Yeah, 20 years later, look where we are right now. Everyone is using it. Come on, let's be real. Yeah. So
Internet, social media, Facebook which was what was meant for university networking. Now look at it.
That's what they're saying is that one of the reasons why Barack Obama won the presidency, actually. He used social media to connect with the people. It's the same reason why Kennedy won the election, because of the TV. And I think it makes sense that you want to go in this direction because you've always wanted to think about the next frontier, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, yes, I am a branding and marketing agency, but what do I really do? Is just storytell visually, through copy, through written text, through videos, through logo designs and brands. And I want to take that to the future, you know? And I just feel like we just got to innovate. We just can't, wait till something happens and then react. We just got to be ready for the future. This is a crazy bet, by the way. I don't know whether it will collapse or not, but this is a bet that I'm very, very confident to take.
Nice. Haron?
For me, I would say I have no end goals. I would say,
inspiring,
for the most part, that
sorry.
the end of
I have no end goals, right, guys? Take care.
Yeah, all right. So for me, it's everyone has an end goal, right? Everyone has like an end game where people around me are talking about like, oh, I want to retire with $1 million. And,
$1 million.
Who the hell
it's like-
speaks in that accent?
What's wrong with you?
$1 million.
I know, right? Yeah, $1 million. All things like that. Everyone wants to get rich. Everyone wants to get famous. Everyone wants to get like some kind of things, or maybe a lot of bitches. Who knows? But what I'm trying to say is,
Ladies.
What you just call
Haron.
Yeah, so
what would you call
that's
me?
I will quote on my friend. I will not use that word, but that I quote my friends. All right, so some of them just told me all these things. I'm like, okay, so what I want to do for myself, right? So why do you want to give yourself an end goal if so what happens after that? Really, that's the real question here. So what happens after that? So ever since then, during COVID. So back to your previous question, same thing. Like I had a friend of mine, a very close friend that we got even closer, and she helped me realize that there shouldn't be any end goal in the first place. Shout out to Casey, by the way, and she was the reason why I'm alive, one of the reasons. And I would say it made me think a lot more about the whole concept of what end goal truly means. So ever since then, I told myself, no, I'm going to go as far as I possibly can. Sure, I have a Guinness World Record, but I want to go even further than that. I want
In
3.
what?
Whoa, that low-key
What?
flex.
That's not like, guys, by the way.
That's not a flex. No,
Gone in 60 seconds.
Think about it. Like, yeah, cool.
No, wait. Guinness for what?
Okay, August 9th, 2014, world's largest DJ relay. I was actually part of the committee as well. We actually broke the record, then followed by UK and Saudi Arabia.
Cool. Good for you, man.
Yeah, but I want to break more. You see, I want to break the boundaries of what the human limits could actually possibly do. And that, I suppose, would be my true end goal, is to push myself to the point, at least for myself, to the point that I cannot achieve any further. Then that would be my end goal. Until then, everything else is open. That kind of thing. So that's why I don't stop learning. I don't stop doing things. I don't stop trying new things.
Yeah.
The day you stop learning is the day you actually truly die. That's what I believe in. And that is something that I looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself that, nah, I'm not going to stop here. If I want to go gardening, then I'll just go do gardening tomorrow. I was like, fuck it. What?
God
Life is too
damn.
short.
Say that again.
Yeah.
I forgot. What?
so something about gardening.
Dude, say it.
No, life is too short. Life truly is too short to just limit yourself to an end goal. And imagine this. You're 50 and you're just sitting down there with whatever goals that you had achieved. What happens after that? Nothing.
This one I think is not so. One, you should enjoy the process of it, because I think a lot of us were trying too hard to get to somewhere that we forget how awesome things are right now.
Exactly.
And so one thing about COVID, it kind of showed us that we actually are so lucky to eat in a restaurant, to share food with a friend. Like it's just the smallest fucking things.
Yeah.
So I'm on the exact same page as you, but I'm with Ben at the same time, where my whole goal is just I want to make people feel less alone through my writing. Whether it's on any platform or anything, I just want you to feel less alone. And it starts off with like each poem at a time, right? And then it can be my novel. It can be, if it gets made into a film. So I guess it's not so much like Ben as well, like, because this whole idea of like multiple cogs, right? It not necessarily will ever be, I mean, it's a good thing and it's more of a good thing than a bad thing. It's a goal that will never need to be finished, because you can just keep trying to explore new things. Same thing as Onyx keeps exploring new things. So I guess we're on the same page as you, Haron.
Yeah.
I think we just got to be open to, I mean, the goals we set 5 years ago, is it still relevant 5 years down the road? It's not. I think we just have to be open to, changes, life goals.
Yeah.
More important is, it's not so much, if I don't achieve everything, I will be upset. But more importantly is changing perspective, is look back and really appreciate what you have done. I think that's a different part, because if you leave it too open-ended, we never really achieved everything that we want to do, and then you're like, I'm not good enough.
Yeah, it becomes a problem.
But I think it's such a easy but also a difficult task, where it's always just to look back and appreciate what I've done. Like sometimes this really helps me, where I'm trying to do that right now, because there are times in agency servicing line where shit gets tough, client requests, deadlines and everything, and you go, when you get criticisms for your work. And
Yeah,
you're
for
like,
sure.
The feedback, can you move the logo a bit bigger? Fuck.
Hey, can this green be more green?
Can this green be more green? Oh, you know what's my number one thing I hate the most?
What?
Can you make it pop?
Wow.
What the fuck
do you mean?
man?
Pop similar.
Hey, if you're a client, you're listening, I understand your brief.
Absolutely.
I'm making
Shout out.
Pop. I kind of get what you're saying, but please, if you're a client, you're a marketing department, you have to brief your creative agency, stop saying make it pop. If you do not understand the specifics that you need to get it done, be honest. Be honest. No one's gonna judge you. More importantly is, people just want to get shit done and get shit done well. That's just us in Singapore and everything, right? So please, if
Ben's on his knees.
please stop asking things to pop. Shit's not a balloon. Stop it.
Okay, clearly we've been on the topic.
Stop it.
Okay, actually, what's one of the worst experiences you've had in your as an agent? Because I'm quite curious as fellow creatives, right? Ben, what's one of the worst experiences you've had with a client? And Haron, what's one of the worst experiences you've had as a DJ or whatever the fuck else you're doing?
Wow, you want me to shame people here? I don't want
No, it's not shaming.
We'll see who it is, but it's like a request or whatnot.
Wow, this is pretty much shaming. People already know what they're going to request.
Okay, fine.
Okay, think about this. Okay, it's technically not shaming, but we're sharing our experiences from first-person perspective, if you think about it that way.
Please don't kill me. I have a business to run.
Okay, fine.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
See? I told you. That question got to him.
I'm not going to... Look, client requests, they are not ill-intentioned. Sometimes...
Of course they're not.
They just find it hard to articulate. And it's just our job to just help them find that. But it's not saying it's an easy job.
Yep.
Right? What the fuck is pop?
Okay, for me, I'll say one. So I was invited to do this event. I will not say who they are, but they said, by the way, we had this really fucking cool idea. We're going to have you on stage. All right. And we're going to have a violinist behind you. And we want you to match the cadence of the violin with the sound of the typewriter. I'm like, that would take some fucking time. And he goes, and we want you to write a poem on the spot where people in the audience are shouting out, different words. And I'll be like, how many words in total? And they're like, oh, we'll give you an A4 paper, so just go nuts. And then at the end of the poem, we want you to read the poem out while you're standing up on stage while the violinist plays a different song. And I said, okay. And they said, and I give them my rates. And they said, oh, we only have budget for $250 because we paid the violinist. I'm not fucking doing this.
Wait, I want you to paraglide in with your and then to the sound of the cello.
Oh, I'm actually not joking. This really happened. And I just felt so, oh my God. I'm very sure there's no way they're listening to this, but that was like the weirdest request I've ever received.
Okay, but to be fair, the people they're talking to, they're probably, the decision-making power is definitely above them.
Fair.
They have cool ideas, just, resources not to their favor.
And hierarchy, maybe.
It's not a small brand, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not a small brand.
Paragliding to the...
Wow. Oh, God, please. Smash the typewriter.
Adam, are you afraid of heights? I want you to jump down from Singapore Land Tower and type...
while holding your typewriter.
That I will watch.
I will pay to watch that. I'm not kidding.
I top another 200 for you. I will watch that shit.
How magnanimous.
Yes.
Haron, you.
Mine, okay.
This one's going to be good.
Okay, so I'm not sure if people have heard my voice before. Okay, some wouldn't have. Okay, shout out to us as Singapore. It's ensues, by the way. So yeah, that's the correct way to pronounce it. But so I work as a voiceover from time to time. This
Haron does a lot of shit, by the way, in case you
random. I really need the money, please. But anyway,
Do you paraglide and write poems?
I don't know how to,
Sorry,
but
buddy.
I will actually paraglide if it's just $50.
with no pants.
No pants. Just go for
typewriter.
it. With a typewriter in my hand while I'm typing the poem, like, Adam, help me, please. I don't know how to write this shit.
That's
anyway. Okay, so the weirdest request I actually had, this was actually something that happened last year. All right, so this was just about the opening of the whole. Oh yeah, we can actually now do a little bit more activities outside. This is for Singapore, and I was sitting in my room one day. I was cleaning and doing my own stuff and whatnot. Then suddenly an email came in. Hi, I was recommended by someone XYZ. Okay, I'm not gonna mention exactly who it is, but it's a client, and he paid me. He's gonna offer me $100 to narrate the following sentence. Which I'm okay to say it again. The pink pigs laughed at the nipples because the sons are afraid of mangoes. I'm like, what the fuck kind of question? Hey, $100 is $100, man. I'm doing it, but why do you need this for anyway? Yeah, so he never replied. He paid me the money on the spot, like just like that. That's it. A PayPal 100. I was like, what the fuck? It was in US dollars. I had a nice lunch.
Just for personal consumption.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, I don't know.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, exactly. So it gets even crazier. So at that point, it's just like ever since then, I get hired to do weird birthday messages. I know, right? That was
Are you
worse.
like that guy? Who's the guy that got the birthday messages again?
There's quite a few. I can't remember who.
I forgot who that guy is.
But very obscure ones. Fine Haron.
Yeah, fine Haron.
Pink nipples, pineapples, and pigs. You like that kind of shit? Call this guy.
No, to me, it's just a script in a script. I'm just gonna read it anyway. And to my head, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, okay, it's $100. Okay,
It's
I'm not complaining.
$100.
I still need the money, please. But yeah, so that was just one of the weird things that happened. And I guess this is part and parcel of life, you get to realize that, if it's someone's kink, I'm not going to shame it. I'm just going to like, yeah, cool. You're going to put money on the table or not?
Okay, but on
Where do you list your job listings? Craigslist?
I don't know.
OnlyFans, it's just you. Hey, sup? I read stuff.
I honestly don't know.
What's one thing? Okay, so we've talked about all the shit stuff, right? Now let's go to a happier note as we're ending this podcast. What's one of the most fulfilling experiences you've had doing what you do, though, and not necessarily one, but one of the most fulfilling?
Oh,
I'll state mine.
okay.
So I was doing a live event. This was back. I still do live events, but this was when I was doing it like once every week or something.
Oh.
And I was doing a live event with this woman, and she seemed typical Karen. And I mean, like, she wore like a Chanel hat, Chanel jacket, Chanel coat, bag, shoes, everything Chanel. And she just said, I don't like poetry.
That voice is so disgusting.
I'm looking at you.
That is concerning.
Yeah, so she just went, I don't like poetry, it's fine. And she walked away. And I was like, okay. Then she walked back and she goes, but my daughter does. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. No.
Live poetry, that one counts, guys. Let's go.
So she went, my daughter likes poetry. I said, okay, cool. What's the reason? And she goes a bit quiet. And I see that she's holding back tears. And I'm like, oh, wow, something's happening. And she goes, so she actually has not really spoken in a while. And I said, why? And she goes like, because she, for some reason, she's like, it's not medical or anything. She just literally stopped talking.
Oh.
And I went, wow. And she goes, but all she does is draw me stuff and slide under the door.
Oh.
And this is a real story. And so she, so I remember that she said, can you write something for her? So I wrote a poem for her. And the mom, because she doesn't like poetry, she just took it. And then the next day, she had the company that I was, the brand that I was working for call me. And she said that when the daughter read what I wrote, she drew something and she wants to give it back. And I remember that was one of the most beautiful things because for someone who hasn't been speaking, it felt like we were finally communicating.
Oh, wow.
And that was fucking meaningful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can someone get me like the Netflix producers? I wanna pitch this story.
Netflix, please
I need the
contact
money.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink nipples, pigs, and pineapple. if that doesn't work, we can do Adam's story, you know, about the. Sorry.
No.
Your beautiful story. I'm sorry. It was a beautiful story. Sorry, TNE followers. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Yeah,
I don't have followers to shout out to, so yeah.
Shut up, Haron.
What?
I follow you. Let's go. Shout out to me. Let's go.
Ben, don't kill me.
No, but that's pretty amazing. How,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm a close friend of Adam's.
Yeah, you are.
You know.
Oh, by the way, quick thing for all those Novel Encounter readers. This Life Electric, the character Donnie, is semi-inspired by Ben. I should have actually opened with that. So yeah.
Yes, and I should be paid royalties.
No, you should
for
not.
that shit. Motherfucker, use mine. Walao.
I'm also going to strangle Adam.
Yeah, that's right? You should give me, give me some royalties or something. No, okay, so like, you know, for us being, you know, boys, we like to give each other shit. I mean, I think that's just a way that we show affection, and
Yep.
it's just humor, right? It's
Yeah.
just having good fun. But like, I have to admit, like, when he told me he was being like a poet and a writer, you know, usually the stereotype is like, yo, you're going nowhere.
No, not
Yeah,
just
for
nowhere.
sure.
It's like, you're going to hang out at Starbucks again.
All right, so with that, with that beanie and the beard and the round glasses. Like, what?
When did that become Waldo?
How did your Asian genetics even grow beards? What the hell is that? But to be honest, right? It's amazing. Like, I'm giving shit for like, what? You write poems that don't even rhyme. Who the fuck writes that shit? Yeah, people tell me, wow, he's an amazing writer. I'm like, what? He doesn't even rhyme. Right, but okay, in all honesty, I'll give him like shit like that. But like, it's when I really look at the bigger picture, it's amazing what he does. He
Thanks,
touches people's private side. Okay. No. Sorry, TNE followers, don't kill me. Okay.
Enemies are boring.
This is not a representation of my marketing work. Okay, but in all honesty, I feel that he actually touches people in the hearts, and like through his words, you know, he helps people articulate things that is very hard for them to communicate as well. And it's amazing that it's crazy. People write to him every Friday telling him about their personal problems. It's crazy. What kind of brand or what kind of entity, like commercial entity or even brand or any people, has that kind of effect? And this guy, his personal advice, people take it and they live it through the poems, through the books, through like even just an IGS mention or IGS story. I think it's beautiful what it does.
Oh, thanks, dude. That means a lot.
I really think it's beautiful.
We're gonna hug?
Nope.
Not
especially wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
Side commentary, they're both not going to hug. They're actually both about to kill each other with strangling. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hey, but thanks, man. That means a lot.
I think it's
coming from a branding guy.
It is.
Where do you find such connection? Where do you find such community that's real?
Yeah, shy. Can we?
I think it's. No, I mean, to add to that, like when I remember this one poem, like Finders and Keepers, from the book, the very first one that he did, and I just want to say I am so sorry. I actually only managed to make it right after. Okay, I'm not sure if you know about this band, but this was what happened. Okay, so for all the listeners, this was what exactly happened. I was actually rushing out of my house because something happened at home. Not a bad way. I just had a leaky tap or something. No, not me. I mean, my house.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Okay, so this is what happened. So I was late. Okay, I remember there was a lot of people there that we all knew, and I know this was his first ever book launch. Right?
Yeah, Finders and Keepers.
I was late, and I only managed to make it at the very end of it.
The speech was done and everything.
Yeah, and I just sat there and like, fuck. Okay, anyway, but in that book, I was reading through every single poem that he has done, that Adam has done for everyone. I realized that there was one that resonated with me the most. Breathe.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That was the one that actually changed my life. I thought I should actually put it out there.
Oh, fuck.
And that's
Thanks,
something
man.
that's beautiful. That was something that, you see, words mean nothing in the dictionary, but when you weave it into a poem, for example, in this case, and in Adam's case, it gives the entirety of meaning in a different level. And for me, that changed my life. That changed my perspective. That started everything, by the way. That actually started everything for me in terms of finding myself, what I want to do for the rest of my life, you know, everything else in between, you know. And I think not everyone can actually achieve that, if I'll be honest. Not everyone can. I have worked with creative agencies, designs, everything else. Yeah, I mean, I also do 2D, 3D animation. Please don't ping me. I'm only free next year, July, if you're hearing this right now. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that
Pink pineapple nipples. You want that shit anytime.
One take.
Okay, I need the money. But anyway, so no, what I'm saying is, someone like Adam, it's truly hard to find. It genuinely is truly hard to find in this time and age.
Shit.
Agree.
And I know I dye my hair. I know I look like Anabing with the tattoos and whatnot, but I read books. What? Yeah. Bing, by the way, for those who do not understand, is basically a person who, well, let's just say delinquent.
Where the fuck do you think my listeners are at?
I don't know, man. It could be the rest of the world. But anyway.
This man is so
Zimbabwe International. Let's go.
But yeah, when it comes to creative individuals, I cannot think of anyone else but Ben, Adam, and a handful of others, because I think these are the very moments that we should cherish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the very
genuine
moments. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the genuine moments that actually help us realize, or at least be reminded by the fact that there is creativity in Singapore.
Yeah.
In Southeast Asia, it's just a question of where are you going to find it,
Yeah, let me just add on, besides Adam and his creative work, I feel through Adam's creations and his works, you should take away, besides someone being an amazing poet, but is that you be able to take that by yourself and by understanding the power of words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not what you should take away from Adam is just not that he can actually type a typewriter very annoyingly loud
and also not use WD-40.
Yeah, right. But it's the power of words.
Yeah,
genuine, sincere words, and communicate that to whoever. So what you can take away from Novel Encounter is the ability to share the power of words. Let people know how you feel. Let people know what you think about them, what they're good at. Encourage the next person, make them feel better. Because that, from what I see, is amazing from Novel Encounter. They uplift people, and people just feel like, oh, I'm talking to someone who actually gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
About me, and I feel so much better about myself. So why not do that for your fellow person?
Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, by the way, I'm really bad. You know this. I'm very bad with compliments, so...
He's crying right now.
Pay me 5K to say this.
Checks in the mail. Okay, no.
Okay.
Adam's crying right now, by the way.
Shut up. No, I really appreciate you guys saying that, simply because I've always wanted words to mean something to people, and that's generally my whole intention. I did not actually mean for this to be a Adam Tai love fest, so I was asking.
It's not.
Okay.
I could make it one.
Yeah. What's a genuine experience that you guys had with what you do that made you feel that you love what you do? And yeah, honestly, I really appreciate you guys saying that. It means the world.
Wow. Such a novel encounter.
Oh my god.
I'm expecting the 5K check in the mail.
Wow. Cash.
No, but I think props to Adam for what he's built. It's not easy being a writer, a poet, designer, photographer, creative in Singapore. It's not easy.
I'm asking you about yours, Ben.
Oh, you're asking about me?
Yeah.
What was the question?
My question was...
oh, shit.
Okay, everyone's drunk. Okay, my whole question is... Almost. Just now I asked what you guys hate about what you do, right? Or bad experiences. How about now? What makes you feel fulfilled in the career that you guys have?
May I start first?
Go, please.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, so most people that approach me are either business owners or the C-suite guys.
Yep.
That, they face some kind of trouble, right? It's the branding element, it's the storytelling element, the identity, the creative element. They need help. They have that vision. They just need They just need people to help them realize it. And the biggest compliment that I get is the most simplest one. Is thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I need to hear, because I have countless of experiences where people are struggling and I help them articulate their thoughts and then create a brand, or help them, elevate their brand to a certain level, and they just go, thank you. It could be expressed in words. It could be expressed, hey, I got you something for what you've done for me. That's all that matters to me, and that is what keeps me and my team going, is when this genuine I don't have a significant, extravagant moment. I just have all these accumulations of little moments where people just go, "Thank you. This means a lot, and thanks so much for helping us."
Yeah.
That's it. I don't need any big celebrations or festivals or big hoorahs. That's all I need.
It's awesome.
I do have one question though. So in this case, in your experience, like what is the one advice you can give to clients? Let's say if they want to approach any, like let's say for example, they approach you or any creative agency,
Yeah.
like what should they prepare in advance at least, to the very least, when they try to actually want to do something with a brand? Like be it rebranding, be it like a visual concept or anything else at all. Like what's the one thing you want to tell them first?
That's a great question.
It was a very deep question.
Please don't say pop.
No, pop.
Can you make it pop? Can you make it pop? I would say that.
You have to repeat it.
Sorry about that. I was going
Ben
away
is
from the
adjusting
microphone.
his seat.
Sorry about that. To be honest, there is no proper question. I think more importantly, what the client deserves is a proper conversation to find out what he or she really, really wants. And I don't have a template, but what I would do is I would sit down with that person and figure out what they truly want, what the challenges they face, and ask them real questions before I even start all the branding thing. Because, all these business owners are faced with a tough time because, they have a lot of pressures from, probably investors or, any like customers or like bad business and stuff like that. I think more importantly is they just need to take time to figure out what they want. Slow down because everything's moving so fast.
Yeah,
And more
definitely.
importantly is like, what do you want to achieve? What do you want people to feel? What is that ideal concept that you want to be proud of, right? And all this requires a very heartfelt conversation. And from there, that's how we dig through and figure out and create something that they truly like.
Nice. Okay,
It's an
Haron?
awesome answer. Oh shit, this is my turn.
Yeah, we're wrapping up.
Damn. We're wrapping up. I want to go pee though.
That's why you need.
Okay. To answer your question,
What makes you
Adam,
feel fulfilled about what you do?
I need to pee. Anyway.
I'm gonna do it now.
No, I'm pretty sure the engineer's gonna kill me in the studio. But anyway, so what I'm trying,
Ben just spat out his drink.
No, don't spit your drink. Hey, you gotta clean it up after that. Okay, anyway, so one of the most insane experiences, but I think the heartwarming one was that there was one night. Okay, so I do probably a couple of VR shows, maybe once every couple of months, depending on what kind of time I have, right? So this one hit me the heaviest. I actually stopped everything I did, be it my day job, night job, everything. I stopped for a few days. I canceled my appointments. That's how insane it is. It was when that one night when I was actually playing for one of these VR shows. We're talking about not much, probably a few hundred people clocking in, out, here and there. And this guy told me that he was actually in a wheelchair ever since he was an army vet in the US. And he lost both his legs due to an incident. And for someone like myself to actually just come across his crosshair, to be able to do something that restored the concept of clubbing experience for him, he never felt more alive at that moment.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That's amazing.
I had to take off my headset and I actually cried at that moment because I didn't think much of it in the past. When my friends dragged me in, I was like, oh yeah, cool, okay, cool,
Yeah.
why not? But at that very moment, that hit me the most. I literally stopped doing anything. Of course, going to work, dealing with clients and whatnot. Sure, but I was at home still thinking about that guy. He's still around, of course. But when he told me that I can no longer go to the clubs that I used to frequent because of my disability in the US, that hit me the most. And I realized that at that very moment, what I'm trying to do had paid off. And not just that. More beyond that, it was bringing an experience to people that they thought they have lost / they never had.
Yeah,
And that's why
that's fucking amazing.
I telling myself that, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that as many people as I can reach out to, I will do everything I can to let them have the things that they deserve to have as equals. Because just because you lose your legs or a limb or anything else that you be seen as a disability is not because, oh yeah, it's bad, but it's just giving them an equal chance to experience life itself. I think that's what life is truly about, for me at least. And that I accidentally stumbled upon, the world's biggest VR festival by accident. I was really drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that helped me reach out to more. I'm sorry. Accidentally, I really was drunk that night. Okay, shout out to Valent and everyone else at the DJ team. I was very drunk that night. But what I'm trying to say is that I never knew that what I've been doing in the virtual reality was actually to help people realize that they have things that they could look forward to. It's just the question of if you want to find it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was an amazing story, dude. That was amazing. I didn't expect that story about a metaverse, but
Yeah.
I know. I never expected
Wow.
it to.
New dimensions, boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, I genuinely wish we could keep going simply because
we can.
Oh, we can?
We could.
All right.
The engineer's going to kill us, by the way.
I kind of want to end on a heartfelt note simply because when I had my debut novel, This Life Electric, I only thanked a couple of people and both of you guys are in it.
Wow.
Of course.
You fucking
I was
prick.
promised. I was promised $3,000.
Where is my royalty? Donnie. The D is not so far away from the B from Benjamin.
Bonnie?
What
Yeah,
kind
so
of
I
keyboard
honestly want to thank you guys because you guys are some of the most genuine and amazing humans that I know. And
Thank you.
I
Thank
honestly
you.
want to just honestly thank you guys for being here. And can you let the listeners know where they might find you, what you guys have going on in your life right now or moving forward?
Okay. So where you can find us is, for me, my company is Grim and Company. So if you want to go to the corporate route, if you need help with your business, with branding, storytelling, social media, marketing, and creating dope shit, it's at Agency Grim, GRIMM. If the website is www.agencygrim.co. If you want to look for branding stuff, but if you just want to chat, explore cool places to drink and talk shit and have fun at ARYYY.GOLD. I think that's my username.
Quick question. How many Y's are there in that handle?
3.
3 handles.
There's no
so
specific
3
reason.
Y's. Okay.
Because at that point in time, the 1 Y was taken.
Oh,
I wish I had a cool story, man. I wish I was a cool story.
ARYYY.GOLD, correct.
Was it a
followed.
dot?
Yeah. .go.
Okay. But for Twitter, there's no dot.
Ooh,
Ari Gold.
I'm going to follow that.
Yeah. All right, Haron.
Okay, so for myself, because I officially detached from my current stage name, so you could find me if you find
Pink
me
nipples.
on the Reddit.
Pink nipples.
No, please don't search for pink nipples. That's really bad.
Pineapple.com.
Okay, but anyway, so for myself, you can find myself on Instagram. My handle would be #Haron. But of course,
Wait,
if you want to,
Hashtag?
yes,
Okay.
hashtag. I don't know why people actually made hashtags out of it. I don't even know why. But anyway, so if you want to follow me, you can actually take a look at my profile at Instagram. It will be at Haron. No, not the bird one. I mean HARONTAY. And that's pretty much it. That's mostly where I spend like 5 minutes of my day on it. That's about it. So if you want to have any inquiries on voiceovers, then perhaps you can actually drop me a message and I'll probably get back to you in 7 days or something like that. I don't know.
If you're looking for more risque content, you can
There
go
you
to www.onlyfans.com/pinkpineapplenipple.
Where's the hair on though?
No hair.
All right, boys. Thanks so much. Ben and I both gave toasts. So how about you? Haron does the final toast.
All right. So here's my first attempt. This is actually my first time in officially 30 years of trying this, but to good health, wealth, and also the experiences we won't know and the endings we'll never discover. I hope not. I don't know what. I'm actually very, 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 very drunk. They got me drunk before I got into the studio. But what I'm trying to say is, Everyone have good time.
To pink nipples and pick pineapples.
And never saying pop. And never saying pop.
And never saying no.
What?
What?
No,
God, that's how we're ending the podcast. Oh God.